Hello people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, in the previous video, I said that in this video series, I'll be discussing about the important aspect that is required for the students to complete their respective levels of CA examinations at the earliest. So students, those who have not watched my first episode, it's my humble request that please do go watch that video first before watching this. I have shared the link of that video in the description below, right? And others, those who have still not subscribed my channel, please do subscribe it, guys, because that gives us a motivation, to do more such kind of videos. And also do press that bell icon button because that would give you a notification immediately once we upload the videos from our side. So yes, guys, before we head towards discussing the main topic for the day, I want to drag your attention to one important point. It's about the discipline what we had earlier, which we no longer have. The discipline in terms of taking the test. Guys, if you recollect the olden days, the school days, right? So if I have to tell my story, I think right from grade one, guys, right from grade one, I remember till grade 12, our schools used to conduct several tests and examinations throughout the year before we took up the, annual examinations. So, we started our schools in the month of June. I think within 1 month, we used to have our first midterm examination, followed by quarterly examination, then second midterm, then half yearly, then third midterm, then annual exams. And if you were in 10th or 12th grade, then probably before taking up your board examinations, in addition to these tests and examinations, you also were supposed to undergo your revision 1, 2, and 3. Three more additional examinations before you take up your board examinations, right? And all of us know, guys, that by taking that n number of tests, we not only walked with that confidence in the examination hall, the scores what we also got, I mean majority of the people, the scores what they got was also fantastic. 95 plus, 98, 99, hundreds on hundreds, right? But somewhere, when we come to this professional courses, like CA, people somewhere leave behind the discipline. They feel that we sit, attend the class, prepare at home, and then straight away we'll go to the examination hall and give the exams. And we expect that we clear it in one shot. We get through that examinations in one shot, which is not going to happen. It may happen for very very less people. That's why the pass percentage is, let's suppose out of 100, 5 people are passing. Maybe those are those 5 lucky ones or 10 lucky ones. Not everybody is as lucky as those ones are, right? So I feel that we need to be smart enough, to identify the leakages, which is happening in the course of this preparation, so that we can tap those leakages, right? So I feel one of the biggest leakage that is happening is from the student end, is not taking up the test. They don't take the test with that seriousness, or some people, they don't even have that seriousness that they have to take the test, right? Because in school I feel, of course, even back then we never liked taking tests, but that discipline was forcefully imposed by the school and thereafter by our parents. So we had no other choice but to take up those examinations. But all of us know in heart somewhere that those tests and examinations has really helped us in our final examinations and annual examinations. But here, since nobody is there to have that pressure around you, right? So there is no discipline at all in taking the test during the journey of CA, right? So definitely, guys, I 100% feel that taking a test would give you a lot of benefits, which is why I'm trying to put this video upon. You might say that no, we know already know. So what is the benefit of taking test series and all? But I would say that these kind of videos, probably refreshes your memory. It will make you feel you know that the test needs to be taken, but this will give you that push that yes, somewhere you need to get start up and get started with your test, right? So this video is intended in that positive way. So the first benefit of test series is it gives a reality check and helps you to analyze your preparation for exams with respect to concept clarity, speed, presentation, and confidence. Because I feel that these are the four pillars, for success, or I would say these are the four pillars for students, to successfully clear their examinations, right? So let me discuss all these pillars one by one. I'm not telling that these are the only things, but these are the four pillars. Like one need to clear in that examination, that in the examination period, that 3 hours what you're undergoing, right? In that 3 hours, these four pillars is going to help you in a significant way. The first thing is conceptual clarity, guys. So a lot of times students say that, sir, at home, when we are revising, we feel that, the concepts is there clearly in mind. But when we go to the examination hall, I don't know what happens that, everything, goes blank. We're not able to reproduce things on time. So why it happens, right? So I tell people that when you are at home, sitting and, revising the concept or recalling the concept, please understand the atmosphere around you is so chill. There's no pressure as such, on you, so that it becomes easy for you to recall things. Because scientifically, when you are, off the pressure, like when there is no pressure, your brain works at the, maximum capacity of efficiency. Therefore, it is easy for the brain to recall and recollect the concepts. But the situation is not the same when you are in the examination hall. In the examination hall, guys, you have a lot of pressure that is going around you, that is going within you. Therefore, under that pressure, performing is not going to be easy. That's the reason we say that you need to undergo a similar atmosphere multiple times earlier, so that you get that knack and experience of how to handle that pressure in the main examinations. If you want, I can relate this to, cricket. All of you must be knowing MSD, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. So you know that he comes to bat at number 6 and number 7, and he walks in at that point of time, guys, where the pressure is highest in that game. But still, we have seen MSD, helping us, to get that winning edge at the end, handling all that pressure that is required, and successfully, helped us win a lot of matches. Do you think that Mahendra Singh Dhoni had only, done the net practice, and from the net practice he's directly got to the World Cup match? Under the pressure, he has helped us, get that cups and all? No, right? So every cricketer, guys, they go through the first phase, which is the net practice phase, right? So they do regular, constant net practice. How much ever good or how much ever big the player is, still you are supposed to do the net practice. And after net practice, you don't go directly to play the World Cup. You play the domestic matches. You play the one-day internationals. You play a lot of T20, matches, a lot of practice matches per se. And in all those practice matches, all those extra matches, you are constantly, sent under that pressure. So if I talk about MSD, he's constantly playing at that number with that pressure. And over a period of time, by attending all this, matches, he has gained that experience how to handle the main, final World Cup. If I have to relate this to our thing, so if I said cricket is taking the net practice, okay, this net practice is basically the practice that we take at home. So we have something called as home practice, right? After net practice, the cricketers, do the domestic matches, they do the one-day internationals, they play the practice matches, etc., and then they do the World Cup matches. But what do? We do home practice, and we directly play for the World Cup matches, which is our final examinations. And we expect that, we should clear in one shot. How is it possible, guys? Think about it now. Now, this is the final examination is what is the first experience what you're getting for that level of examination, what you're preparing. There is a lot of ifs and buts that is happening in that examination hall, which you have never thought about it, which you have never experienced it. And without that, you don't know how to handle those situations. And everything eventually slips away your hand, slips out of your hand, right? Then people learn something from these examinations. If you're lucky enough, if you're prepared well, then people clear in the second examinations. And others, they still learn from that experience and try to apply in third examinations and fourth examinations and so on and so forth. So my question is, guys, do we really need to risk our main examination, to learn or to get that experience, which is required to actually clear the final examinations or main examinations? Can we not have those kind of, similar experiences earlier, where you are performing under the same kind of pressure, right? And learning from that, how to tackle certain things, you learn from that. And when you come to your main examinations, you will by then learn how to handle it. Can we not do that plan? So that's the reason I always insist people to go with the test, right? So here, when you take up the test, guys, you will get the reality check in terms of how, how strong you're in retaining your concepts, which you thought you will be able to retain, but in examinations all you're not able to do it. So that is giving you a reality check. So don't wait for your main examinations to get the reality check. Do the test by yourselves and get the reality check prior handed, right? So first thing is conceptual clarity, guys. Second is speed. Speed in terms of reading the question, right? A lot of them tell me before, okay, I go forward. A lot of them tell me during my counseling sessions that, sir, we are not able to complete the paper on time. That is, we are able to complete the papers only for 70 mark, 75 mark, 80 mark, 85 mark, 90 mark, 95 mark. If you're attending paper for 70 to 80 mark and then you expect, to clear, that's the biggest gamble that you're taking, boss. At all levels, you have to attend for 100 marks, like 95 marks minimum. If you attend for 95 to 100 marks, that is where you will get somewhere decently, in the range of 55 to 75 marks, right? Of course, in the MCQ paper, which is coming with negative marking, I think at the CA foundation level, there we cannot take that risk. But I'm talking about the other papers, the descriptive papers where there are no negative marking. So there, if you're attending only 70 to 80 marks, that clearly shows that you're not 100% prepared for the examinations. Your speed is not that good enough. So your speed in terms of reading the question, how fast are you able to read the question? Speed in terms of understanding the question. Some people read the question 2 times, but still they don't understand what the question they're asking. So second is understanding of the question. Third is, once you complete reading the question, the speed with which your brain should start answering it. Then the speed with which you write it. So all this matters. If all these are in right place, only then you'll be in position to complete the paper on time and full 95 to 100 marks you can attend for. I repeat one more time. Speed with regard to reading the question paper. Speed with regard to understanding the question. Speed with regard to processing the answer in your mind. Speed in terms of, the answers that you write it fastly on your answer sheets. If this is not there, guys, then it becomes very difficult to, attend paper for 95 to 100 marks. So when you take up the test earlier, you will get to know that in these four things, which are the places where you're missing on the speed. So you can start working on those, paths. So the test, what you take up, guys, it will help you to identify the gaps. This will help you to identify the gaps. With regard to the first one, by taking up the test, you will get to know that, are you able to recollect the concepts on time under pressure? If not, then what is the gap? What is the reason? So you have to analyze that. So identification of gap. Second comes to the speed. What is the gap with regard to speed? Are you not able to read the questions faster? Are you not able to, interpret the questions faster? Are you not able to recollect the answers faster? Are you not able to write it faster? So what is the gap? Where exactly is the gap? You have to identify those gaps and need to work on filling those gaps, right? So this brings to the third pillar, which is presentation. All of you know, guys, presentation is very, very important in the examination. When you practice in the class or when you practice at home, all of us know that we don't, give a genuine practice. I mean, we don't put proper formats, formulas, the headings and all. We do a rough practice. So that is the practice we have throughout, right? But in real examination, it doesn't work. You need to write everything properly. The heading wherever required, the format wherever required, the notes wherever required. So all that, what happens is you're doing for the very first time in the main examinations. And there, if your calculation slight here and there, if it slips away, then everything will, mess up and everything will screw up. So why do you have to wait for your final examinations to get that bad experience? Why don't you take up the test earlier? Why don't you take up the test earlier? So that you can learn from, by the test that where exactly you're going wrong. Presentation is very important aspect, guys. Please understand. The person who's correcting your test paper is not a person who is only sitting and doing your work. He's a person who has to take care of his, official work. He has to take care of his personal work. He's a person who has to, undergo the official stress. He's the person who has to undergo even the personal stress. Amidst all this, he is coming and correcting your paper. So you need to present a paper in such a way, guys, which is easy for the opposite person to correct. Now already that person is frustrated. Now your bad presentation will frustrate the person even more. Right? At the end of the day, people are human beings, guys, who are correcting the papers. Right? So I'm not saying that the correction will go wrong, or I'm not saying that corrections are going wrong. I'm not getting into that debate. All I'm trying to tell is that a person, because I correct a lot of test papers, I mean, for my academy. So it is really annoying, when you see the handwriting is very bad. 6 sometimes looks like 0. 9 like sometimes looks like 0. It is annoying that to sit and guess what is that, man, because we have a lot of things to complete in that part. Even the examiners, I mean the paper correcting persons, what they're doing, they have a lot of papers that they have to correct within the short span of time. So it's not easy for them to sit and speculate that what they've written, whether it is right or wrong. That much patience, it's very difficult to have. Though I feel that a lot of people have that lot of patience, and they correct it like aram se, but still make their life easier is what I'm trying to request here, right? So presentation is very very important. I see a lot of papers that where people do the initial presentation neatly, but when they realize that the time is running out, they scribble like anything. At the end, it feels like the paper only can be read by a doctor. That is the level of the handwriting. So I feel that if you consistently practice well how to manage time, that speed, that presentation, if you practice consistently, I feel this presentation problem can be resolved, right? So these were the 3 points. Now we head towards the fourth pillar, which is confidence. So here people tell me that, sir, we have prepared well, everything is well, but somehow we don't know, when we walk into that examination hall, we are not getting that confidence, we are not able to walk with that confidence. So I tell people here that the reason that you're not getting the confidence is because you don't have evidence to believe that you have prepared well. Now, what do I mean by that? Very simple, guys. When you take up the test prior, so you're scoring well. Let's suppose out of 100 marks, you're scoring consistently in the test for 60%, 70%, 80%. So you know somehow that, okay, in the test, I've scored decently well, 60 to 80% average I've got it. Now, when you walk in the examination hall, even if you have a doubt, at the back of your mind, you can tell that there you have scored 60 to 80%. Here, if not 80, at least 60% you can score. No? So there is evidence, that your brain has got to support your doubtful mind, the mind which is doubtful, right? So that's the reason I tell people that take up the test. That will give an immense confidence to you that at what level you're standing, you know, and if there is any gap, how do you resolve that gap? How do you overcome that? And once you overcome that, guys, the confidence that is built, that is massive. And the confidence can be built. One of the main reasons that can build the confidence is taking up the test prior, right? And obviously, one more point is the brain rewiring. So that is something I would discuss maybe in a separate video, right? So actually, that is a long thing that I've discussed. So that I'll discuss in some other video. So with this, the first point I'm done with. By taking up the test, guys, you will be able to identify the gaps with regard to the above 4 points, right? So once you identify where you're going wrong, the second step is that you need to resolve those issues. So we have to focus. Some people can give the solutions by themselves. There's some people who still struggle with certain gaps. So people like us, mentor like us, we step down, and we help them out in terms of how do we fill those gaps, right? So identification of problem is very important point, which a lot of people, we don't do it. People think that they know everything. They don't want to understand or realize that there's something wrong with that. They feel that whatever they've done is 100% right. Please don't have that attitude, guys, till the very end. Even after you become CA, at every stage of your life, you need to keep a check on yourself, whether are you lacking in something or not. You need to identify what are the gaps within you, and you need to fill in those gaps so that you can climb the ladder of success smoothly, right? So definitely, guys, taking up the test prior will help you to identify the gaps, and after identifying those gaps, you need to identify the solution to fill up those gaps. If you're not able to fill up those gaps, you can always reach out to me. There's a mentorship program, and through that program, I'll be able to guide you how to fill those gaps. Next is, these kind of tests will help you to overcome your panic or anxiety attack. Now what happens is, you take up the exams directly now at the final stage or the main stage. So when you go inside, already the confidence is lacking, there's a nervousness, and you see so many people around, you tend to get nervous. When you look at that atmosphere, you tend to get that nervousness. But on the contrary, the students, those who have already taken n number of tests, they've already experienced that atmosphere, and that experience is already known to them. So when they go to the main examinations, it's like any one of the tests they've already taken. So it is very light. So there is there's no panic, there's no anxiety attack what they face. So this I have seen that student, those who don't take test at all, no? When they go and take up the final examinations or main examination, that is the point where people, I feel that anxiety comes. And when anxiety comes, when the panic is coming, guys, your subconscious mind is closed, and eventually whatever even that you're not able to reproduce on time. And the same student comes and says that, sir, after examination hall, when I came out and saw the paper, things struck my mind. Why? Because when your mind is open and free, a lot of things will start striking. When your subconscious mind shutter is open, things will start striking, because everything is there somewhere in your subconscious mind. Now in the examination hall, the moment you panic, your subconscious mind shutter is closed down, and whatever answer is there, it is there in that now. When the shutter is closed, how will the answers come? It's a very simple thing. So one of the way in which you can overcome your panic or anxiety attack is by taking test. Of course, Despite that, if you still have that, then the counseling or the mentoring that has been done, so that could help you to overcome this problem, right? So this test also helps you to learn the time management, of course, because you need to write the paper, that speed is required, like within a stipulated period. You need to complete the reading of the question and the interpreting of the question. Within the stipulated time, you need to answer the question. So that management will come with experience. So the maximum test you take, you will identify that, okay, this is the place I'm going wrong. So that test will help you to ensure that you're able to complete the questions on time or within the time frame, right? For example, if you see in CA, all the exams are 100 marks and we get 3 hours, 180 minutes. So effectively you get, for 180 minutes, 100 marks. So effectively you get 1.8 minute per mark, 1.8 minute per mark. So if it's a 10 mark question, guys, how much time you need to spend? 10 marks into 1.8 minute per mark. So 18 minutes is the time that you can allocate for that particular question. So now the question comes is, within that 18 minute, if you are not able to complete that question, then what do we do? Should we spend additional 1 or 2 minutes and complete it, or should we move on to the next question? So that is something the test will give you that experience, like what should be done in different scenarios. And of course, the mentoring program, what we do, so where we also share our experiences. So your experience plus our experience combined together will help you to have that kind of experience where you don't have to experiment anything examination hall. You can just buy that and just replicate that. You'll be very comfortable in getting through the exams, right? So time management and improving of speed. So taking up the test will help you to time your questions properly. It will improve the speed, because speed and time is very much required. Finally, it helps you to boost confidence. I told you, naturally, when you prepare well, it will give you immense confidence that you've scored well in the previous examinations, that is previous test at the center. And with that confidence, you can walk inside the examination hall. So I don't think so there should be any problem. And finally, it helps you to be familiar with the latest examination pattern. So here and there, if there is any pattern that has been going for a change, there's a undergoing, if any pattern is undergoing a change. So obviously all this test is coming up with the latest examination pattern. So what pattern is there, you will not experience that in the examination hall afresh. You will have that experience prior hand, right? So guys, I think this video should help you understand the importance or the benefit of taking up the test. I know that all of you know this benefit somewhere inside, but it is very important that we bring it outside, realize that, and just instead of thinking it, let's execute it. We have all the worldly excuses, to or the reasons, all the worldly reasons to tell why why don't we have time to take up the test and all. But you know that we may lie to other people, but lying to your own self is not going to give you benefits of any sort, right? So it's my humble request that please take up the test. And in the upcoming video, I'll be talking about the features of the test series that we are offering. What are the different categories of tests that you can take up depending on the time what you have. So if you are, let's suppose if you're 3 or 4 months prior to your examinations, then you can take a different kind of test. If you're 2 months prior to your examination, then the test model can be something else. If you're 1 month prior to your examination, then the test model what you can undergo can be changed, different. So I'll be giving you what are the different models of tests that has been given by us. And then we'll also be discussing what is the benefits of taking the offline test, what is the benefit of taking online test, what kind of ambience we are providing, how this will be helping you to overcome your panic attack. So I'll be discussing all that in the next class. Of course, I'll be discussing what are the fees structures for each and every category of taking up the test. So I'll be discussing that in detail in the next class. So yes, if you like this video, guys, please do share this with your maximum friends, juniors, article assistants. So, and also please do share your comments or views on the comment section of this video. What do you think about it? So that other people can also take in your experience. So if you have a similar kind of experience, please share it in the comment section, where people can also read that and understand the importance and significance of test, and maybe the mistake what you have done, maybe through your expressing of that view in the comment section, they can have a learning for themselves and they will not repeat it, is what I feel, right? And yes, people, so I think that's all from mine for today's session. I'll see you all in the next video, episode 3 of this series. Until then, bye bye, see you, take care.